Yeah, I figured it out, Piston. A little bit late. What a shambles indeed. It's fine. We'll cut it in post. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? I'll just run this through like a time lag and edit it on the fly. Like they do for live TV. Oh, he said a bad word. Hit the beep button. Nah, I'm just kidding. Obviously, no one cares what we say here, right? All right, Pillars game. Team 2 OSP, I think? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Should maybe... it doesn't matter. We'll see when the ships come in, right? Let's see if we can guess. Oh, never mind. I see HMCS, which is Vren. So I know Team 1 is ANS now. Let's try and guess Team 2. Bagel, maybe an EWR. KRG, that's an Acello. I'll put money on that. Let's see. Yucky Motel. Charm of Devil looks like a Tug Swarm? Right? 7 ships? Yeah, that's got to be a Tug Swarm, right? Then we have a couple of line ships on the left. Ren's bringing in Axford, his Prince of Wales, Caw Grapes. Oh, is that a Frigate Swarm? I bet that is. And then up top we have Value Judgment and Moral Failing. That's Task Force Oak. Maybe or maybe not altered. Galileo. I'm going to guess DDs. And Sackville and Vampire. I don't know. Those are all Vren fleets, but I'm not sure what they are. Oh, missed the mute on that one. Making gross noises here. Alright, let's get a game on. Let's see how we did. Yep, here come the line ships, top left. Called that. 450s. Double 450s? Oh, I like that pixel badge there. It is indeed double 450s to go with that 250 Acello pair. Not a huge fan of the 250 Acello. We'll see. We'll see. Meanwhile, on the right, okay, it's a 250 Acello with rockets on the bottom and a whole bunch of shuttles. Point defense shuttles? Are they all point defense shuttles? What is on here? Bastion, pinpoint. Bastion, pinpoint. Okay. Kind of an interesting build. They're set up. First of all, there's probably no need for this many target locks. Is it a Battlestar Galactica thing? I don't think so. Where are Krieg's line ships? On the bottom? And it's missiles? Yes? Yeah, alright, I got that one wrong. But on the ANS side, here's the Frigate Swarm as called. Vren's... What has he got on this? I hate the VLS one on the back. Look how stupid it looks. This is a crime against humanity right here. I know it's probably good, but damn, is it dumb looking. Sorry, Bren, but that's the truth. Relabeled is spitting hot takes this time. You cannot say anything bad about it. Meanwhile, Beam DD, and with that, E-War Frig, plus 1 hang-up, and a Capping Corv, just kind of chilling right now. Up here is Task Force Oak. It looks unmodified, as far as I can tell. Yep, I think that's the case. It's a good fleet. It's a good fleet. It's got good bones, can't argue. And up here, Cletus McGreedy is looking like missile and gun frigs. Only a couple missile there. A lot of 250s. Kind of interesting. People may be sleeping on the 120 on frigates. It's a good weapon system. It does a lot of DPS. It probably does more DPS against OSP than a 250 does, and it's cheaper. The only thing a 120 is going to struggle against is an Acello, maybe, but you can just fire AP at it and call it a day. Like, it has enough pen. With the 250, the problem is it's a lower shell count, misses hurt more, like this, and the fact that these shells are missing is really unfortunate. There's no target lock, so of course they're going to the 4 wins. Even when there is a target lock, like now, a lot of them still miss. Luckily, this is a good angle to be firing on the top. You've got a lot of surface area. This player, meanwhile, needs to be changing their heading and putting the nose on where the fire is coming from. Yeah, Haymaker, the blast radius is lower, but DPS is king. And unfortunately, this player is not returning fire. These frigates are being spotted, so it's no mystery where they are. But it looks like they just wanted to get under cover, and I'm not sure what comes next. Meanwhile, the frigates can still see some of these shuttles out here, and they have 250. They could fire RPF and kill one of them easily. They're not nose on or anything. They're top down. This is an excellent profile to splash some 250 RPF into. Probably gut them in a single volley. Looks like AP's being fired. There comes the RPF. Now we see, yeah, this shuttle is just going to eat it. Nothing else much happening right now. Looks like Task Force Oaks being spotted by some long-range radar, and Vren is moving kind of aggressively here into the middle. That is how he do. Keep an eye on that Axford there. Meanwhile, here comes the RPF. These many shuttles with this amount of point defense, you know, obviously, A, it's costly, and B, it might not be super effective. But we'll have to see if this player reacts appropriately. Like right now, splitting some of these shuttles off to go and get target locks on those frigates so that the 250 fire from the Acello can be on target, that could be a good play. Definitely changing the heading. It looks like the heading's not being touched at all. They're completely on free maneuver right now. They do their best based on where you give a move command to make it happen as quickly as possible, so they will turn and rotate on their own. And unfortunately, they're rotating the engineering section towards the enemy right now. So #1 skill to pick up in Nebulous, push H and put your nose towards the enemy. Not like this. Definitely not like this. This fleet, it's clearly at a little bit of a loss what to do faced with the jamming. Oh, a hybrid here coming to miss that shuttle. I think that came out of the frigate fleet. Oh, yeah. So this Ocello right now is firing at the jamming markers. So unfortunately, it looks like this player doesn't know what to do in the face of this jamming. So step one, use these shuttles to get a target lock by running up there. Some shuttles will die, but they will get the target locks. And once this Ocello gets its nose on and those 450 shells on target, those frigates will have to do something. They cannot just sit there and slowly pick off shuttles one by one. Instead, defending by going underneath a rock, it's kind of a delay tactic. An effective delay tactic, but unfortunately ANS has the center. It looks like Krieg here fired some missiles and missed or got taken out. Not sure. Meanwhile, this frigate swarm is using jamming on the other side. This may be a case of a loss at fleet designer level. The OSP doesn't seem to be able to deal with the jamming that's coming out. Certainly, they didn't know that these Axfords were coming over here to pummel them. There's plenty of 450 fire available, but there's no target lock. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now this 450 fire is going to get on target. And it is going into broadside. That is a dangerous situation for this Axford to be in. It's getting a little bit of angle on, which is helping it, and it is backing behind the rock. Not the best target to be firing this 450 at this tug, but could be just a case that there's nothing else this ship can see, so why not? And both fleets on both sides are deciding to back off that engagement slightly. On the ANS side, this isn't a really great position to be in, because by breaking off this contact here, all of those autoloaders are being reloaded for free on the OSP side. But without the support of this frigate fleet, which it does not look like this frigate fleet. Oh, they've broken off to deal with. Okay, I see. Yeah, so while this frigate fleet deals with these line ships down here that it spotted, these Axfords need to play defensively. So that's the right call to back off, kind of trade shots a little bit, hope that your fleet, your teammate down here can deal with this, and then move up to support you. Meanwhile, these frigates over on B, they're trying to push in and dislodge that Ocello. It looks like they're having a lot of luck doing that, and also there's Wren here in the center. What are these going for? They're going straight into the rock. Okay. Looks like they were aimed at some of these ships up here, and a lot of them went into the rock. Let's see. Defenders on a Corvette, super strong. Good job there. Prince of Wales, meanwhile, it's getting crossfired here. Here comes a better missile strike. Oh, but the beam is there. The rear guard defending this Axford from the flank. And Defender and Stonewall fire looks like it's going to be enough. No, some of them went through. Looks like 3 hit there. It wasn't enough to deal catastrophic damage. Meanwhile, a hybrid takes out a shuttle. Or possibly, no, that's got to be the 250 fire now chewing up the rear of this Ocello. This Ocello is probably going to pay big time for making this move here. Gun frigates, you know, you cannot dismiss gun frigates as OSP. They have plenty of damage available to punish you. And unfortunately, this fleet... Okay, several missiles are being shot in different directions here. It's a little bit hard to follow, but overall, not too many hits have happened. The defenders and the Stonewalls doing a good job of picking all of this up. Meanwhile, the beam is back on target. And all of the S2s got picked up that time. One thing about missiles, with how the point defense turrets work, the first wave usually has the best chance of getting through because the point defense turrets haven't already turned around and gotten faced in the right direction most times, right? Sometimes you get unlucky and they swivel real quickly based on where they're already pointed. But now he's got his nose on, all the point defense is pointing the right direction. So there's very little chance that any of these missiles are going to get through. And the beam DD is on target. So both of these, and the gun frigs are coming in to support also. So it looks like just the last desperate missile strikes are coming out of these line ships, but they're definitely not going to have any success. With this Axford, with all of the point defense pointed in the right direction and on target, easily able to chew all of those up. And down goes one line ship with another one soon to follow. Let's check in on this Ocello. Meanwhile, it's attempting to fight this Axford, I think. But unfortunately, it's been shot in the back the entire time while attempting to do that. These frigates smell blood. They're moving in, RPFing all the shuttles. Some more hybrids come out. Now, because they've gutted the rear of this Ocello, all of that point defense, all of that other missile defense is gone. So these frigs are going to be able to clean up this Ocello no problem. That leaves the pair of Ocellos and the line ships on the left as the only combat-capable OSP. And they're pretty healthy, but there's a lot of ANS to chew through. They haven't lost a ship yet. And these Axfords have taken out the drives. Are these single drives? These are single sun drives. By the way, if you're an aspiring Ocello builder, don't do this with a single sun drive because it will die, and then your, 1,500 point Ocello can do nothing but sit there and continue to get shot for the entire game until it is dead. These two sections here will easily fit other drives, the small drives. If you don't know, you can put multiple drives onto a ship and they will work. They don't push it faster, but each bonus gets added and multiplied together. So you can take a sun drive and a yard drive, or a sun drive and a raider drive, or, something besides only sun drive. This thing is made out of tissue paper. I think a berthing has more health than a sun drive. 450 will take this thing out. So, just in the future, don't do this. So Cadence said per dodo, active will only seduce if it's illuminated. Okay. I mean, I buy that. In that case, it's just difficult to make it so that the decoy stays in a spotlight beam long enough. So there goes Krieg. That's the end of the missile line ships. They got a couple pot hits on this Axford of Wrens, but its DC has come in and cleaned up. So at this point, looks like those sun drives got repaired. Task Force Oak is shooting at a decoy. No judgment. It's just funny to see. He's figured it out now. And these line ships are returning fire. These line ships are the last ships that are fully combat capable. Well, I suppose these are. The thing is, because the sun drives have already taken a hit now, a swift breeze will knock them out again, and they'll be in that exact same position, frozen and unable to move. Here's one of the problems with the 250 Acello now. It's really hard for a 250 Acello to engage a 450 Axford. You have to close the range so much further than what a 450 can shoot at. And once you get close like that, the advantages of this Acello being nose on and kind of dodgy quickly go away. And if you take too many 450 hits on the nose, now your front thrusters are all dead. And if you get rushed, there's nothing you can do. By backing up, if you try to keep your nose on, you'll be moving at like 5 meters a second. It's very easy for the Axford to just, come around on your side and just devastate, or something else. It's not a good situation. A little bit more beam fire coming out. Looks like that DD found a shuttle to shoot at for a second there. Admiral Obvious already left the game, so that Acello is out. And let's see, it's kind of Task Force Oak on its own on this top right flank, dueling with these two fleets here. It's doing a good job. It's correctly gotten nose on to protect from all of this 450 fire, which, yes, you give up that rear turret, but you gain more than, 1/3 survivability, right? You lose 1/3 of your fire. Not even, because you have the triple barrel on the bottom. You gain way more than that by having your nose on. You can see here, if this had been broadside, where these gray sections in the front are, that could be gray sections in the middle. And that's where the important stuff should be. I think this might be a berthing up here. Yeah, that's a berthing. So instead of taking deadly damage to the middle, taking it on the nose, 100% the way to go. Yeah, Schrodinger cat, a little bit of a bad rap with how. Oh, thanks, Piston Miner, for helping me with the math. I mean, the left flank has played pretty well. There is a problem with this STEC guy and these sun drives, but that's an easy fix, right? You just add a drive and maybe a micro reactor to make up some of the power loss. Yeah. You definitely, it's not advisable to run around with a capital ship and a single sun drive. It's no bueno. We'll see here. Looks like Vren's Axford is coming in to shoot at what's over here. The frigates are moving here also. Meanwhile, ANS is converted to a 4-cap, having killed those 2 fleets. A little bit of a raw situation here. This Ocello on the right had a fine position. The issue with that Ocello was not having its nose on. Hey, Terabyte. Yeah. Which rains are you talking about? There's a lot of rains in this game. So that Ocello on the right, I mean, that position, playing B by the rock, is totally fine. The problem was I can't explain why, but that fleet didn't engage the jamming properly. Sending those shuttles up, I mean, they all had pinpoints. They could have given the fire control locks and let that 450 loose on them. If that fleet just stays here and engages these frigates and kind of wards them off a little bit, then this position is fine. And then it can move into the middle after these frigates are dealt with. By moving into the middle before the frigates got dealt with, it got shot in the back the entire time it tried to support its teammate. These line ships going under the map, that was a little bit aggressive. Not that a play like that is bad necessarily, but you don't typically see a play made with missiles, because when you do a dive like that, you're most likely to run into A, PD nets that are at full strength, and B, more than one enemy fleet at a time, which is exactly what happened from those frigates coming down to help deal with the missiles. Possibly in that situation, if that missile fleet instead had kind of gone for A, it might have had a little bit better time. It could have caught out the destroyer, possibly. Not sure exactly. Yeah, so to recap the frigs, so there's a gun frig down here. It's almost exclusively gun frig. And the other ones are kind of like hybrids, so they are some gun frigs and some missile frigs. But they're both swarms, and they both have E-War backed up by hang-ups, so they did their job correctly. Yeah, so this left flank, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I don't like the wide left flanks. It takes a long time, number one, and number two, if you run into a situation where one of your other fleets that's holding your opposite flanks gets overwhelmed, which is exactly what happened here, then you're out on this wide flank, not near any points, and the enemy just has free reign to take the center of the map plus the flank that they pushed, and you're stuck out here with no cover and nowhere to go, and you're not even near your natural points anymore. So it's just a really bad situation. The risk is so high for doing a wide flank like this, and the payoff is so little. Best case scenario. Yeah, Beamstone coming to twist the knife. Best case scenario, you kill the fleet and take D, but then, you've still given up the middle, right? It's entirely possible that you kill a fleet and take D, and the enemy takes A. And now you're still in a bad situation, right? Whatever they have at C can come to D. Whatever they took A with can just come back. If you can compare and contrast, right, a high D or E push to something like a B, C push. So let's just move the camera over here while we have a little bit of time. So let's say you start somewhere over here and you go towards B, right? First of all, you've got all this cover. You're protected from, if you move over here, right, you're protected from that right flank. And It's just a little hop, skip, and a jump over here to B. If something goes wrong, you can back up easily. You have cover right here. Let's say you try to push B, there's too many fleets there. Oh, you just slide a little bit right here. Now you're protected from B. The whole time while you're here, you can scoot a little bit and get some fire on A. It's all about zones of control in this game. And the zone of control that you have from the mid on pillars is just so much stronger. If we instead zoom over here to the ideal flank push, you come around this corner, right? And maybe you've got, you know, that one single fleet that came on this side. Best case scenario. If they see you, they can easily just, you know, kite back. And then as you move up to D, well, now you're in this position, right? You can't see any of the map at all except this one flank. If you come through, well, now you've got C on top, you've got A on top. They spawned here. So whatever's here is going to know you came here and be ready to fight you. And this is the position that you're now in. You know, you've automatically let yourself be flanked from two different directions just by the nature of pushing this way. So I really dislike the high outside push over here for many reasons. The high D to E routes are pretty exposed. Yeah, but that's the exact push that this team did, right? They started on E, they went high, and then they push across here. So either you have to be so fast at it that you already crossed the midpoint before the enemy team has taken their naturals. Like that could work, right? Because and stay inside here. If you get to this position and the enemy team is still in the midst of like taking C and taking D and trying to figure out what's going on, then that could work. Oh, yeah. So the thing about the DE inside push. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So in order to do that, and I almost never see this done at all. So I kind of don't understand why. I mean, I know why, but... So the D to E push starts at E, right? And then you kind of go under here, which will protect you from A and C and everything over there. And then when you get to this point, you kind of pop up, and now you've got... This is an okay position right here. You can put pressure on A, you can put pressure on D, and if you need to, you can duck back from C. But I almost never see anyone push this way. And the only answer I can come up with why that is because it's on the bottom of the map. And people don't think about, like, you know, the under very much. I think you know, a concentrated push this way and then you come up beneath D, that could be kind of strong. But I absolutely never see it played. And I'm not 100% sure why, but